Loktarg, our friends. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it's time for another Orc Mode workout, and today was Max Effort Upper Day. Quick reminder for those of you who watch these videos, please remember to click like down below. Help me keep the likes higher than the dislikes. It would be greatly appreciated. Today I felt, just when I started messing with the weights a little bit, that I wasn't going to be quite as strong as I'd hoped. Monday was really good. Actually, Tuesday was good for PRs too. Today, I just didn't feel 100%. So I decided to do a chain variation on the bench instead of trying to say, hey, we got 345 with the straight bar right before the deload, then 352 with the buffalo bar on Monday. Mike, let me throw some chain on and just kind of assess where I'm at, because we know I'm weakest at the lockout. So let me overload the lockout a little bit. All right, let's make it hardest at the very top, and let's see what we can get. And honestly, this 295 was heavy, and this is actually the last time I got a PR with approximately the same amount of chain. Chains were set up slightly different, but more or less the same strength curve. So I'm like, let me try 10 more pounds, and I jumped up and did it, and it was grindy at the top. And I really felt an enormous amount of pec, a lot of upper pec and things like that. And people need to remember, lockout is not always tricep. My triceps have gotten really, really strong based on like my J-M press and other stuff. I've gotten pretty dang strong in the triceps. We know that there's a little bit of chest weakness at this point on some of my stuff. We know that there's definitely the shoulder weakness because I've been rehabbing the shoulder. We're going to talk more about that today. We're making some minor changes because I'm noticing different things inflame it versus different things make it feel really good. So I'm going to pull the chin-ups out, and we'll discuss what I'm replacing them with and why. But I felt my upper chest definitely fatigued on this. Like, I didn't feel any tricep. People can say, oh, is that tricep because it's closed grip and chains with the lockout? No, it really was a lot more. I felt my chest tremendously working really hard there. I didn't feel any tricep. Now, I feel tricep, the long head, I'm feeling it on these inclines. Now, the inclines today, like I said, I'm going to go back to this because I've done a little better with the wider grip, which is pinkies on the ring, so a normal grip. And I want to just work on this because I do really feel it hammering my upper chest. I also do feel a lot of long head of the tricep. Now, we noted that we have a little bit of definitely delt weakness there, some shoulder weakness happening, but I can feel my upper chest, and I didn't get as good of a lift as I wanted on this. Like, I was actually a hair disappointed. I can live with the bench because we're up into close to PR territory at my weak link, as far as with the straight bar, not with the buffalo bar. But we saw the buffalo bar. You guys saw the PR. You saw where it slowed. You saw where I struggled before I managed to lock it. So there's definitely some chest weakness on all of that too. And I do feel upper chest quite a bit. And here, I always struggle a little bit through that sticking point. And I noticed when I started doing the rep work today, I found a better sweet spot. Some of it's me not having a good bar path because I just fly off the chest. Now, ironically, I feel an enormous amount of upper chest. So much so when I'm doing this that I almost couldn't, after doing this grindy max with only 235, which, by the way, my clients love this. They love when they see me on the incline. Do you know why? Because some of them are stronger than me on the incline, and I beat them on literally every other lift. Squat, bench, deadlift, any type of deadlift, any type of squat, flat bench, all that. I've got them pretty well beat. So when they see the incline and someone like, I can beat coach by 50 pounds on the incline, 70 pounds on the incline, it makes them happy. But over to the point, that fatigued my upper chest so much I almost couldn't do my close grip. So I went to do my 295 for triples. This first set, I almost couldn't get a double. It's like, oh my God. And I felt my entire upper chest cramping. Felt it cramping. So you watch this is a bit of a struggle, and it's that lockout feels hard. Coming down, pausing just briefly, and that lockout, I almost felt like those were 1 rep maxes. And my upper chest started cramping. So my upper chest got hit really hard with that incline. And we know we need to bring that area up. Let's be realistic. We know incline is going to change my whole musculature on my upper body at this point because we know my upper chest needs the muscle, my front delt, my shoulder girdle needs the muscle. So we're going to keep working incline. Incline is going to be a high priority. I'm even going to have the dips pulled out so that I can hit incline and have energy for it when we do the rep work. And this one I managed to get a triple, but the same thing happened. My chest felt like it was completely fried. And I felt my whole chest on this. So this triple felt the whole chest. But I'm like, we'll get enough effective reps between all the sets to stimulate growth. I'm fine with that. I'm just going to stop it at 2 sets because I feel like I didn't have a third. And if we're having to reduce weight, people say, why don't you just reduce weight? For the same reps, you don't get any muscle growth from that. And I want that to be clear. All right, if you're doing drop sets of any type, you better be back in the effective rep zone as far as the percentage of your max. It's not my opinion. This has been studied. This has been studied. So that part of my chest was done. It didn't have anything left. Now, interestingly, when I went over to the incline, I started kind of getting in my groove here. So I took what should have been a 3x3, and this is what I got for a 3x3 on Monday. And felt heavy, felt hard the first 2 sets of 3. And I came into the 3rd set, and I'm like, you know what? This lift is important. I'm going to crush this 3rd set. And I managed to get 5 reps. Okay. And I found the bar path better. I found a really good groove as far as my bar path touch point, driving it up as I got into the set. So I think a lot of what I need here is, again, more practice so that I can handle that lockout better, which is where I tend to be in trouble, of getting that bar into the right position. Getting the bar into the right position. And second set, again, pausing and everything, driving up, because again, I need my upper chest to grow and we need the front delts to grow. But people are saying, oh, there's definitely shoulder weakness. Why don't you do this? I don't need to do those things you guys are suggesting. I am doing wide grip standing press and I'm doing hang pulls and things. I'm hammering my delts and they're going to get stronger. Keeping in mind, after I rehab that injury, they've detrained. Now I've hit my previous bench PRs. My overhead work is not back where it was. We're going to make all this a priority. Incline and overhead will feed each other. This one, though, I got a little bit angry. I'm like, let me just dig in and get aggressive. I can't afford a bad set. I need this set to be quality. Let me get everything I can. And I managed to squeeze out 5 reps. And this is 200 pounds. So this is what we need to be seeing. I need to be coming in and be am-repping these final sets, make progress on these final sets so that I can build the muscle and the strength to hit those PRs and those weak links. Now, interestingly enough, people say, well, where do you feel the long head of my triceps actually lit up? Which it kind of goes to the point I've said, my long head of my tricep is a little bit weak, and I think that's caused some of the shoulder instability that led to that ring pull-up injury and everything that I've rehabbed. So, and it'll help with the overhead and the incline. So I'm going to do some long head specific work. Now this time I dropped down to 135. I'm like, let me get used to this pinkies on the rings grip again, this wider grip, because it's got great wrist stacking. It's a very good position for me. So I need to get used to it. I'm not quite as strong as it is narrower grip, but it gives me a really good wrist stacking position at the bottom. And I can get better lockouts because I can't lock out with a narrower grip, and it's because of my shoulder structure gets in the way. And as I've said before, and other people chimed in and agreed, mobility work is pretty much a scam. I did a year worth of mobility work, and all it did was cause my shoulder to get injured easier. All it does is hurt. So, came in, did the same thing with these. I did 2 sets of 5, and then I did an AMRAP, and I managed to crank out like 7. Now, that's not very impressive with 135, considering you guys know that I've strict pressed 225 quite a few times, and I've done 227.5 as a best. All right, we need to get back to that, but I want to get there with this wider grip. Because this wider grip, I feel a lot more total shoulder. I feel my side delts, and I feel that upper chest, especially if I come low enough to where on the reps where I'm touching my collarbone, which is most of these, I feel that same upper chest. So that's going to carry over to the incline. Okay? It's going to carry over to the incline. It's going to help me with the shoulder development I need. It's going to help with all my weak links across the board. So we're bringing up old weaknesses, addressing current weaknesses, because they all kind of tie in together. Okay? We need to get this press up. And I'm going to have to do that by taking some sets pretty much to AMRAPs like that. But I managed to get 7 with it. So, okay, now we're making progress with this. Because I did the 145 and only got a 3x3 last time. So I figure maybe I need to drop the weight down a hair, do some AMRAPs, and we'll max on it coming up here soon. Once I get into the groove on it, we'll max on it. Then I did these Tricepticons, and that's my joking name I made up for this lift like 7 years ago on camera. Because I need the long head development. And we know based upon what we're seeing with those incline and everything else, plus the fatigue I get and the long head, the problems I had with it after the pull-up injury, that's a potential weak link that we just got to bring up just for injury prevention reasons. So this is a very good exercise for it. It looks like I'm doing it all weird, uneven. It's because I'm cocked to the side. When I'm stepping back, I'm not stepping back square against the camera apparently. So forgive that, guys. But I went up on this one 20 pounds versus on Monday. Went up 20 pounds, got my 2 sets of 6 and called it quits. I don't want to go too hard on the volume on this. I just want to see if I can just get stronger, get enough tension, keeping in mind there's a lot of tricep work in all the other sets I'm doing, right? That's all pressing work. So this is just to make sure they're being hit. And I may take it to 3 coming up here soon. But this is really hard with this weight. 2 sets really lit my triceps up, and it feels good on my shoulder. And for those curious, that we're not even trying to see like a lockout, because I'm getting a stretch on the triceps. This is a tricep exercise. Okay, it's a behind the head extension, just like you see people do with a dumbbell all the time. So again, I want to see if that bringing up that long head, getting that long head stronger for a phase, if it will help with my overhead and incline, and I suspect it will. And if it helps with that, then I can load it heavier. I can get more work for the upper chest, the front delts, all that stuff. Since I pulled the chin-ups, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a full week off from chins and see if my shoulder, because I noticed that as I've worked chins back in, my shoulder hasn't felt as good as it did before I added the chins in. As I've added them in, it's actually created a little bit more clicking and stuff and a little bit of inflammation. Not so much that I can't train it, but it seems to have impeded my rehab. Okay? And I notice even when I deadlift with the straps, it feels great on my shoulder when I did the straps with the double overhand for the rep work. Just not having that hand supinated felt amazing. So I'm like, well, let me just row. I'm going to work on just using rows, hang pulls, and deadlifts. Since I'm doing more deadlift volume now, because I'm doing 3 sets of rep work on lower days, that's a lot of lat. Okay, I think doing rows, and I did a 5x5 today, and this is my 3x3 weight. I came in and got 5x5 because I didn't get fatigued on chins first, and you know what? I didn't feel as much bicep as I feel on the chins, but I felt a ton of lat. Probably more than I'm getting on the chins right now. Plus traps, rear delts, all that. Felt all of it. All of it lit up. Now, I'd say one reason I don't feel biceps on these as much as I used to is because I've been training the biceps. I've been doing heavy cheat curls and things. And if we can do that and I can keep my biceps from becoming a weak link on these, my back and rear delts and everything will grow even better. And we need all of that to grow. People say your back is huge. My back is huge, but it's not huge enough not to deadlift 700 pounds. Okay, how much more back do I need? I probably need to be rowing these 315 for sets of 5s, not 275, which I'm doing. But we got a 5x5. It felt good, felt strong, really felt the entire musculature of the back, and I'm talking the traps, rear delts, lats, everything. Felt all of it. So again, hammering it with the heavy weight. And instead of 3s, I did 5s, because this is normally what I've been doing for 3s, but I was able to handle 5 for the first set, so I'm like, bet you I can get 5 for all the sets. If I take at least a couple minutes break between each set, 2 to 3 minutes, I bet you I can get 5 for every one of them, and I did. Same thing, I went to the hang pulls. What happened? I got the same weight that I did 3x3 with last time. I got 3x5. And that's plenty of volume. You know, that's a lot for my shoulders. Okay, that's a lot for my shoulders. That's all I need for delts. And again, these lifts here are obviously just to make sure we get the side and rear head and everything. But the wider grip pressing hits the side head of my delt. These hit the side head of my delt. And they both hit it pretty hard. I feel it light up. So again, this resolves a lot of issues that I have too. This works the whole upper back, and it does work the lats also. Just more upper back focused than, say, the rows are. And again, we're using a lot of weight because you're having that eccentric jerks it all down at the bottom. So a lot of tension is being placed there, training a bit of explosiveness. So again, traps, rear delts, side delts, lats, all getting hammered. So we're still getting for that whole region a lot of different angles, and this is just the upper day, right? not counting all the deadlifts and stuff on the lower day. Hits a lot of those same muscles again. But this also, because again, I did 5 sets of the rows, so we made sure we got some decent rear delt work in. It ends up being 8 good sets for rear delts if we don't count the standing press, because we can argue about how hard it hits the rear delt. So, 8 sets. This is a lot, and this is all with heavy weight. All the heads of my traps got worked. Lats got worked. Both of those hit biceps quite a bit too. So again, but I got 3x5 with this. This is also, again, 275, same weight I just rode. And I think it's reasonable for me to just more or less use the same weight on them back to back, because I seem to be pretty close in strength. And again, even though I've been doing 3s with this, I was able to get 5s after doing the 5 sets of rows. So I think we're in a good place on these. Maybe try to get both of these up to 315 for my work sets. Okay? How much bigger will my upper back and shoulder girdle be? Right? And then we did cheek curls. Because I managed to get 7s last time, I'm like, let me put another 10 pounds on. I went up to 145. Got 2x6, and I managed to squeeze out 7. But again, these are going to be a little easier. Why? Because I'm not so fatigued from the chins. The way to do a 90-pound chins fatigues my biceps. So we know that even today, I'm good for another 10 pounds on the cheek curls just by not doing them first. And if I can keep my biceps ahead of the curve and keep them strong enough, they won't become a limit on my rows. And in the past, when I had smaller biceps than I do now, my rows would be limited by biceps sometimes. Okay, and I think the cheek curls are going to help with that. They should help prevent that. So we're going to keep pushing these up, keep getting stronger at them, because they're a nice big multi-joint exercise. And it's something we've discussed in the past. The cheek curl isn't just a bicep movement, it works the upper back. Hey, as a strength athlete, I need that upper back to keep getting bigger. It affects all of my big lifts, all of them. So again, this helps bring it all up while still working the biceps. All the research we have shows that the cheek curl hits the bicep just as hard as a strict curl if you increase the weight proportionately, in addition to those other benefits. So again, we are doing a bit of arm work, obviously, tricep and bicep, but I need all that. But notice we're sticking with stuff that's still all somewhat multi-joint. It's all still big movements, and it's very, very carefully selected to meet our specific performance goals. But overall, happy with the workout, even though the incline sucked. So I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.